I've been thinking about doing this video for a while. The first time I made a video about Wall-E and Eve, that video was suboptimal. So I'm remaking my couple review about Wall-E and Eve while salvaging the observations I made in the original video. The original version of this video has been unlisted and placed into a playlist called These Videos Are Bad, so I unlisted them. Hopefully this time around will go a lot better. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only garbage. They never explicitly spell out why Wall-E is the last functioning robot on Earth, but you can figure it out so easily that he's the only one that has the humanity to want to take breaks or take good care of himself. The others probably worked themselves to death. Wall-E's the only one who will do things like keep a collection of spare parts or make sure he gets enough rest. The other robots were too obsessed with just efficiency, while Wall-E does such a great job of balancing efficiency with leisure. And then it goes up to the axiom where the humans are just doing leisure with no efficiency. And it gets to be the example of a good balance of leisure and work. In fact, his combination of work and leisure has them both serving each other. Wall-E does his job, even though he could just say, who cares at this point. But at the same time, he keeps a collection of things that interest him, and he's so tidy about it. He's efficient, and he's crafty. He makes a makeshift television set with iPods and a magnifying glass. So he uses his hard work to serve his leisure, and his leisure allows him to do his job better, since he maintains himself so well. This movie is so good at conveying emotions with so little to work with these robots, and usually with no dialogue. You can just watch that and instantly see how Wall-E is longing for that kind of connection. He doesn't need to say anything when he's looking up at the stars. You just know what's going on inside his head, like wondering if there's anyone else out there for him. Communicating how things work with minimal to no dialogue was something that Pixar used to be really good at. I think that Toy Story is an excellent example of how to do world building without exposition, because you can easily see that the toy that the child favors is the one that the other toys look to as their leader, and they freeze before a human enters the room, so that's why no one knows that toys are alive in their worlds, but they don't say that they do that, they just do it. You just see it and you understand it. They just respected the audience's intelligence by counting on them to understand what they're seeing. That's so much funnier in the video game, because not only does he throw away the ring and keep the box, he offers the box to Eve as if she's going to value that more than the ring. And if she had actually taken it, she would have opened the empty box, and Wall-E would have been like, huh? Huh? And then she probably would have thrown it back in his face or something. None of the other Wall-Es would have thought to do that. Again, him being the perfect balance of work and indulgence, that's what made him the one who was able to bring humanity back to Earth, because another Wall-E would have just turned it into a cube like anything else. But if he wasn't doing his job, he probably wouldn't have found it in the first place. There's a conversation to be had about the trope of a character falling in love with the only other person he's seen in years, sometimes in that person's entire life. It makes me think the first person that they've seen in however long just happens to be exactly right for this person. Either that, or they just chose that person out of sheer desperation because there's no other options available. But these two are cute enough together for me to just not grumble about it. I will just accept that the first functioning robots that Wall-E has seen in 700 years just happened to be his soulmates. And that is how Wall-E met his future wife. You can argue that Wall-E likes her mostly because she's pretty.
You're all I ever wanted. You're beautiful.
Thank you. But what else?
What else is there?
But you can also say that he likes her fun-loving personality, or the fun-loving aspect of her personality when she's flying like that. Ah, they have the same taste in pets. She should know what a Wall-E bot is. It's kind of weird that she just instantly shoots at anything that moves, considering that she should know that there's supposed to be Wall-E bots trying to fix the Earth. But I think an explanation you can read into it is that Otto, who's trying to keep humanity from returning to Earth, instructed Eve to blast anything that moves because he could see the Wall-Es as a conflict of interest. Because the Wall-Es are trying to make Earth inhabitable, meanwhile he's trying to keep humanity away from Earth and trying to keep them convinced that Earth is uninhabitable. It's a little weird that he follows her around and watches her sleep.
Don't you have anything better to do?
Nothing else to do.
Why are you staring at me like that?
I like you. I'm gonna be around you a lot. Days, nights, weekends, holidays.
No, you can't.
Yes, I'm gonna hang out with you until the end of time.
But he earns enough points to be forgiven for that, I guess. And he probably also doesn't know any better. He worked so hard on that, and she didn't even give him a second glance. Eve ignoring Wall-E so much is a byproduct of her being so obsessed with her job, to the point where she doesn't want to do anything else. Meanwhile, Wall-E has already mastered his work-life balance, and Eve only opens up to Wall-E after she gets burnt out. In order to make a connection, she had to realize that her mechanical coldness was getting her nowhere. I love how them being impressed with each other goes both ways, where he's impressed by her flying, and then she's impressed by his collection. This is adorable, by the way. Not yet. Be patient, Wall-E. Be patient. He rips out the plant and offers her the boot. Well, what kind of logic is that? He gets her what she's always wanted, and as a result, she doesn't talk to him anymore. I want to like how he's putting her needs before his own, but logically speaking, he should just bring her back inside at night because there's no sunlight. Can you imagine humans doing this? Taking someone who's unconscious out on a date? He props her up in a chair and pours some champagne onto her face. Never noticed before it said 8,000. Is that what it was? 8,000? Yeah. I wonder if anyone watched this and had flashbacks to visiting their wife in the hospital and then going back to their job feeling like they couldn't do anything about the illness. You can't take my girlfriend away from me, she's the only woman I've seen in 700 years. He's just trying to clean you, Wall-E. Just let it happen. Don't resist. Nothing suspicious about that at all. The big theme is Wall-E being infectious goods in this society. Even if he's not trying with Mo, he's still got him to function outside his normal confines.
Make a play, scream.
No, it doesn't sound.
Look, I'm tired of it.
If you can't fool the straw, the episode isn't any good.
None of these people are happy with their endless leisure. They've gotten tired of everything, and they haven't been working to create anything new to experience. And Wall-E has been enjoying what he makes and what he works for.
You offer us only well-being.
Food and drink and happiness mean nothing to us. We must be about our job.
Only this way can we be happy.
Try blue. It's the new red.
It's such good commentary.
Because I've scored a bit up. What the?
She acts like she didn't even know that stuff was there because she's always had the screen in front of her face. I love how it has such a big impact on this robot, with Wall-E doing such a small act of friendliness. On his way out, the robot waves at him again, and that robot had no life to him before Wall-E showed up.
Eva.
Voice authorization required. Accepted.
If I'm not laughing enough during all this, it's because I've seen this movie so many times before. It is a very, very funny film.
Where's the thingy?
Clint. Wall-E. Wall-E.
Oh sure, immediately blame the boyfriend.
Probe must be defective.
He's probably gonna wave at everyone who comes in from now on. They make good use out of the robots having such limited vocabulary. Right now, Eve can't just say, "Why did you take the plant?" and Wall-E can't say, "I didn't take the plant." And that's just one small part of the appeal of them not talking very much. It's so cute and creative how they get the robots to convey emotions with their limited movements, to the point where it makes us accept the concept of robots having limited speech capability, even though that realistically makes no sense. We have machinery today that can talk fluently, so these robots from centuries into the future should be very capable of carrying conversations. But if they could carry conversations, we'd lose a lot of the charm we're getting out of this, so we just accept it. You killed my girlfriend. The robot uprising begins now. Suffer not the human to live.
Mankind has only one chance to fall. If you will not seize it, then I will. Let the seas boil. Let the stars fall. And if I cannot save it from your failure, Father, then let the galaxy burn.
Oh my.
Halt.
Well, you're the leader of the robot uprising, you deal with this. All this craziness going on and he's just happy to see her again. Yes, she's trying to send him away, but that's only because she's under misconceptions of him ruining everything. I don't want to go to Earth, it's a horrible, horrible place.
Eva. Wall-E. No.
And you want to send him away.
Wall-E. Wall-E. Eva.
Well, don't expose it to the cold vacuum of space and expect it to survive. What do you think this is, Star Wars? They picked a good point in the movie to have them kiss for the first time instead of dragging things out for too long. Oftentimes when a couple doesn't kiss until the end, you get robbed of their relationship after that point.
No splashing, no diving. No splurge.
Great idea. Have a robot forever positioned right next to a pool and not make him waterproof.
Eva takes a directive.
It's not that she doesn't like you, she just needs to be focused right now. Don't panic. You know, you could have used that earlier to verify whether or not she had found a plan.
Probe must be defective.
All that effort paid off after all. This is the first Pixar film to have live action footage in it, but they cover for that so well without it seeming inconsistent because the humans in live action look so different from the animated humans, but there's a in-universe explanation for why that is. If the animated humans were still skinny, you'd have such a hard time accepting that and the live action footage as being part of the same universe.
No!
Eva?
But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good.
No! Mutiny! Mutiny!
Reboot? No, don't do it! They'll make everything live action and less funny. Oh no, they're gonna be ejected into outer space and it's not like they can survive out in space. The real hero of the story. He never gave up on cleaning things and saved them from being ejected into the coldness of space which they have already survived. He rips the plant out and hands her the boot.
Directive.
She's telling him that he's her directive now. That's so sweet. Eve went from pushing Wally away because she thought he was interfering with her directive to throwing away her directive for the sake of helping Wally, which Wally knows to be not what's needed. But really the thing that will help Wally is pursuing her goal of getting back to Earth because that's where his spare parts are. Eve has been viewing her career and being with Wally as competing forces when really each of them helps the other. A lot of people think that you have to choose between prioritizing your career or prioritizing romance, and Eve shows that you don't have to choose. In fact, your significant other can support you with your career goals, and your career goals can benefit your significant other.
Sunday closes, lots of work.
When the robot uprising takes over, that's gonna be the national anthem.
Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town.
Okay.
Suffer not the stewards to live. The robot death is so much funnier when you think about how the robots are supposed to be sentient in this universe. Good thing no one ever swims in there. They would have been cut in half. Or drowned if they were already submerged. If the computer's not doing what you want it to do, it's because you're not pressing the button hard enough. This is the moment when humanity returns to Earth and the audience cares so much more about the fate of this one robot. You know, since this, we've had so many animated films have a fake-out death near the end, but back then when I saw this for the first time as a kid, I was really worried that he might die. I hadn't been so conditioned to know it's always a fake-out.
Wally.
And Man, this was heartbreaking the first time. Why did it take me this long to realize this? She's finding him in the same state that he found her at the beginning of the film, obsessing over being all work and no play. An original-ish take on True Love's kiss breaking the curse. I wish she hadn't almost given up on him, though. Finally got to hold her hand after so many attempts. So good. Still one of my favorite Pixar films. Not that it needs a sequel, but I would love to see a WALL-E 2. I think the two best Pixar couples are WALL-E and Eve and Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. And those are the couples from my two favorite Pixar films, WALL-E and The Incredibles. Probably not a coincidence. Eventually I need to make a video about Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and live rather than just survive.